Welcome aboard everybody, and look at this, it's beautiful world building in us part 4. I am actually making it, isn't this crazy? So, even though we've still got things to work out about our wonderful little country that we started, I thought that we'd go in a slightly different direction today and mix up some gods and some other countries, because I was looking at the world and realized it was quite empty, and maybe putting some mythos in there was quite fun. Plus, the image of the Celtic pantheon from last week really got me excited, so I decided, you know what, why not? Let's go ahead and make our own pantheon. Also, some countries to go with it, because this map is looking pretty empty. Now, I do draw quite a lot, but I'm not a great artist at all, so we're probably going to be getting, a little bit more stick figure-y things than really detailed art, because I don't have time for that, and I'm also not skilled enough. But please be welcome to draw these yourself in whatever style you feel. I'm gonna keep them as general as possible, so no names. I'm just going to assign them domains and general appearance-y sort of a thing. No names, no genders, nothing like that. So I've been cramped up in my room, which is why we're able to get a lot more videos out than normal, and honestly it's been kind of satisfying. I'd honestly recommend just making up a bunch of stuff, because it's such a good way to relax. Hey phone, can you not? Now, as I have said previously, the less numbers of things you have in your world, usually the easier it is for you to decide what they're like. So let's go with less than 10 deities here, or 10 and below. Keeping with the D&D theme, just roll a d10 just here, and that's a 9. I'm gonna call that a 9. So let's just make 9 little blocks, lining them up like this, and don't do what I did here, which is misjudge the size of your canvas and have to restart all over again. Oh god, how do I draw heads? Right, like that. Let's start with my favorite domain, the sort of like nature-y, I like everything sort of domain, where they just enjoy life. In the books for Dungeons and Dragons, when you're creating your own world, there are hundreds of gods that you can choose from, and you can pick and choose, and what makes a god good and not good is, different for everyone. Some just enjoy a wide variety of gods, others enjoy more specific styles. I usually go with a very short pantheon just because it's a lot easier to manage. I don't want to get like Greek size pantheon and then can't remember who anyone is or what anyone's doing. So let's give this person just like a little crown, and so this is what they're all gonna look like, kind of a little derpy. Let's give them some armor on the side, since they're sort of like a nature-y sort of person. Nothing too extreme. I also haven't assigned whether or not these deities are good or evil. I just want to draw them and see how they turn out. A little side satchel. Every real thing about those, I tend to put them on all of my characters for some reason. I don't know what it is, it's just they look really awesome. So yeah, this is a hunter or like thing. So moving on, I guess what we can have is the knowledge domain next. I don't know, I've kind of made them look really tired here. Maybe they could be reading something or looking at a box, or maybe we give them like a magic tablet that is just where they can read all of the information in existence about everyone and everything. That would be kind of cool. We'd look at it and be like, iPad, but they're like, magic tablet. It's our world, we can do whatever we want. As for styles, I tend to mix up my style and mix modern day and fantasy stuff. I'm not great at drawing fantasy clothes, I'm much better at drawing modern clothes, but at the same time, I'm still not great at drawing at all. No, kind of give him like some odd priestly robes sort of things, but let's also give him abs, because, I do love buff librarians. I think that's a great thing. There should be more buff librarians in the world. I gave them a little moon, because, why not? I think it's kind of cute to also represent knowledge with the moon. Moon. And some face tattoos, because you know what? Why not? Everyone deserves face tattoos. I don't have any face tattoos, though, so no face tattoos for me. Oh, I am bad at drawing things face on, so this is going to be interesting. I guess this can be war or justice, I guess. I'm not big on... I think that lots of domains can fit into each other, and generally speaking, people tend to go to war over justice, so I usually lump them in together. Let's not make this one war, let's make this one society. Give them a little cup, make them a little buff. I think that's a good plan. Yeah, and then I'll add like a little city floating around their head, as though they've got all of this knowledge and they can just access it. They represent order in the world and all of that sort of structure. Okay, now we should do justice, or war, or whatever. Now, they don't all have to be humanoid, so let's make this one a little bit more robotic and strange. This might be the only one because I'm not great at drawing things that are not human, unless they're kittens or foxes, because I've had a lot of practice drawing those things. So let's give them this like robotic sort of face, and then they'd have sort of a plain metal background that's just like mounted on. But this is their actual face. Yeah, and it can have colors, and then it's strapped on with maybe some different colored metal. And you know what, why not? Let's give them 4 arms. I have made this person incredibly buff, and yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. They're so buff. Okay, let's just give them some plain clothes though, because obviously they got that whole face thing going on, but maybe justice isn't so fancy because it just needs to be, you know, simple. How, for life and death, I think that it would be kind of cool if we made them twins. Maybe just, you know, got their own thing going on. God, what should they look like? Okay, they should both be kind of jovial and tricky, kind of have a Thor and Loki thing going on. Let's give Life a long flowy cloak and robe sort of thing, where he can just chill out and be just the cool guy at the party who's just, you know, having a good time. Having a good time with his buds at the party. And let's make their symbol star. Life, stars, and that's cute. And then death can be represented by the sun. Yeah, you know, let's flip those traditional ideas on their heads. And why not give Life a face tattoo? Actually, I don't like that. Let's just give them regular hair. I haven't actually drawn hair on any of the others. Not to say that they don't have hair, obviously these are really bad drawings. Whatever is whatever, and I think that let's just give them like a buzz cut on the side. They have like this sort of loose, flowy hair that goes around, and they're just sort of a chill person who turns up and is like, hey, life is good, you know? Let's make Death more of an outfit kind of like Connor from Detroit Become Human, so give him that sort of suit with loads of patches on it. Yeah, kind of like that. And then as for a face, let's give him like a cheeky eyebrow and a lot longer version of Life's haircut. As though they're Life's older sibling who's grown up and is still hella good fun, but they still have to go to work and earn a bunch. What domains are we missing? Trickery. How about that? Let's make Trickery. Let's make Trickery just this small little person with 2 arms, and give them like a hoodie, sort of a draped cape with maybe lots of dangly bits. Sometimes when I'm designing characters, I tend to think, could I cosplay as this character? And usually if the answer is yes, I'll add them that feature, because I always want to be able to cosplay as anything that I create, but it's usually quite hard because the things have bright red skin or too many appendages, and I'm not great at sewing or mechanics, so never felt brave enough to try that. But I am brave enough to put random doodles that I did on the internet, so I guess I have very strange priorities. Let's also give this one some armor, because, you know, Trickery, getting in trouble. And maybe they have some strange thing with their eyes, where the eyes glow in the dark, or are a little bit different to regular humanoid eyes. Something that just makes them appear strange. Let's give them more dangly bits, because, you know, why not? And don't take that out of context. Actually, you know what, do whatever you want. Let's give them a nice little beanie that they wear, so they look like the strangest adventurer ever. And maybe they just walk around the planet and all of the planes and they're just chilling out, unlike the other gods who stay in their domain and they're just, I am a god. And Trickery is just around, hanging out and just, hey, you know, people are kind of cool. I'm just gonna chill with them. Okay, craft and creation. I actually really like craft and creation deities. They often have really interesting, and if anyone knows anything about Celtic mythology, craft and creation comes into it quite a lot. There's this very big thing about being talented in creation myths, and not creation myths, and being talented in creating things and magic and all of these things. If you're not talented, you don't have a right to rule over people, which is this really interesting concept. And I don't know, I think it's kind of fun, but I'm probably very biased, you know, being Irish and all, which you can't tell from my accent, but I am. I don't know what creation gods should look like. I feel like they should be more robotic-y, so maybe just make them a box, but actually I don't like that. So maybe they're just a real big introvert who just wants to stay inside and work on all of their art all the time, doesn't want to go outside, just makes jewelry in their basement and videos, and oh, this is just becoming me. You know what, let's just go all in. Let's just give him, I don't know, a blanket, and they are always just tucked up inside, wrapped. Oh god, it looks like I've just turned them into a burrito. But yeah, they're just wrapped up inside, and they look warm and cozy, and they just want to make things, but they're a robot, and they don't really need the blanket, it's just for comfort. Okay, I gotta look up some schools of domains. Magic. Yeah, magic's kind of important in fantasy worlds. Let's make a god of magic. So what would a magic person, maybe they're really tall and thin, like got that really unhealthy thin thing going on. They kind of look like Sebastian from Black Butler. But maybe they're like really, unlike Sebastian, they're really fun-loving and just overly expressive. They get along with the trickery domain a lot. This is like the wild person at the party who just comes along and is like, hey guys, wouldn't it be crazy if we all go outside and just, I don't know, adopt a lizard each? And then we can all be lizard parents. You know, that's strange. No one else has that experience? Okay. I guess I just went to a very strange high school. Maybe they should just wear a t-shirt. They look really plain. They're just like a normal person. And also, it's essential. Let's give them some face tattoos. And there we have it. A pantheon of 9 gods. Now again, I haven't assigned any goodness, evil to any of them. It's just a list of people. But they are gods, and they are our gods of our beautiful world. Now, when you're making a pantheon system, there's lots of things to consider. And obviously, you need to consider whether or not your gods are just gods, or if they're gods because people believe in them. As in, did they just come into being and that makes them gods, or is there a deeper thing where they have to be believed in? I think for this, I would prefer they have to be believed in, but since it's very rare that any new religions ever crop up, and these guys have been around for so long, there's no real need to change it up. Second half of this is making more countries, so I'm gonna just draw around the outline of all of these. Now again, you don't want to go too many. As I said in the first video, too many countries makes you lose track. There's a lot of governance systems, and then you end up with 500 characters that you have to know all of the names and accents and all of that stuff if you're doing accents. It's just complicated, and maybe you don't want to do that. So it's much more simple if we just keep it down to a low number of countries. Obviously, we've got our little Aziraphir right there in the center. How about we make a few more? What I like to do is have a couple of major factions who are vying for power or some such, or maybe they've reached a stalemate. So let's just make 2 very big countries and then split up the rest of the land from there. So I think I'm going to take all of this northern region and have a really cold, harsh culture. They're just up in the north. Kind of got a Viking vibe about them. Then we can just separate off that other section there, and that can be a country at some point. And yeah, we'll take the center part of this other large continent and make that into maybe a big one, and maybe that ice island down at the bottom. And then the rest of the land, let's just split up into its own parts. Now, none of these have names, so please comment some suggestions of names, because you know, don't want to use a random generator for everything. So yeah, here we go. Just finish up coloring in those lands. I really like that little sort of jagged island that looks like someone just cuddled up on a sofa or something. I really like that one. Maybe we should make a country out of that. That's gonna be its own thing. Okay, so that's that second big empire colored in now, in the blue. So let's just go in and fill out all of these islands and smaller countries. They obviously all have their own unique cultures and other things that we can go into in the future, but for now they have no names, they have no... One of the parts that I really enjoy about world building is the fact that you can just continue to make lots of different things. If we wanted to, we could sit here and name all the countries and make every single one unique and have that thing, but for now I think I'm going to be happy with just drawing out the borders, because this video is already starting to go pretty long and I want content for other things too. Plus I want you guys to have lots of input. So here we go, and this is starting to look like general world map. Just fill out that last bit and then I'll color in the background. I seem to have missed some spots, so this looks like kind of a world map. Obviously, I haven't colored it in, and something's going weird with my brushes where it's changing colors. I am still new to digital art. This is challenging. Please, anyone who has experience, please help, or, you know, draw it better. I'm bad at this. If you enjoyed the video, I hope that you'll leave a like and maybe subscribe to the channel. I hope to get lots more feedback about what you guys want in the world and what you don't want in the world. I think it's going to be kind of a fun series to continue on, and I'm really enjoying this. Particularly this episode was really fun. I really enjoyed drawing the gods because I enjoy drawing, so it's fun to do character design once in a while, even if it is just random little sketches that I did on my computer. Anyhow, I'll see you all in the next video.